Hey, what's going on, everyone? I will not be before you long. I just want to give you a few updates, study tips, and pretty much those two. Yeah. So, either way, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Devi, Dave, or whatever you want to call me. Either one of those two, not just anything. All right. But no, either way, I actually am a nursing student at my school. I'm in the associate's program. I'm actually leaving the program. I couldn't do it because I already signed up for classes, so I'm going to finish out this semester. But either way, my plan is to go to the BSN program that requires me to take prereqs. So, my last video described pretty much what I had to go through, but my classes now, I have a chemistry and English. The chemistry is a hybrid course, so specifically for nurses. It is a intro into organic, and it's biochemistry with an intro to organic chemistry. Now, the to sum it up, the course pretty much wraps up intro as well as there's an intro and general. Intro and Gen Chem, it wraps those up quickly. We took care of that in 2 weeks. Now, fast forward to now. It is a lot of material. It's very tough. We're dealing with, we went through, of course, our general, so we went from conversions all the way up until, so right now we're dealing with functional groups. We just left that. We're now into isomers. And we're doing something else. I gotta look at the homework. I'll do it probably tonight. But either way, a few study tips that I do have is do not study too long. I like to break mines up. Now, I do recommend for each class you study minimum 8 hours a week, but I wouldn't just, say cram it. Definitely spread it out over a while. The way I do my studying is 30-minute intervals. So I do 30 minutes 4 times a day. That gives me 2 hours to do that 4 times a week. That's my 8 hours. I do that because I get frustrated. My head starts to hurt. When I do it for just 30 minutes, by the time the headache comes on, I done stopped. And it's going to be a lot of information. A lot of it's going to piggyback off of each other. So, you want to kind of pay attention to the details because, for instance, if, like, okay, what's the detail? Okay, for instance, if you don't know the apparent bonding of non metals as well as metals, then that would be kind of tough because then when I'm trying to look for a preferred charge or whatever I'm asking for, what will you do? If what do you think will happen? If I'm talking about transition metal, what will happen with that? If you don't know the information that with transition metal, they don't have preferred charges. They just perform the charge you give them. Either way, so you want to study smart, break it up, do not procrastinate. I suggest studying the night if you can when you have the class because I think it sits a lot better because your brain's already been a little ruffled. Just a half an hour. Don't do a 5 hour trip because that's going to be that can give you a big headache. It gives me headaches. So, like I said, the intervals work just fine. Plus, it's scientific proof that it's actually better for you. That students were able to retain a lot better. This is not for everybody. Again, if you can do the 12-hour thing, do you. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. But I do know for those who are like me, that works great because I have other things going on in my life besides studying. I cannot spend 12 hours studying. Are you kidding me? But anyways, so I would recommend doing that. Another study tip is to use your resources. My school has a science lab that I can use. They provide tutoring. You can just do your homework. They have models you can play with. What else? What else? Your professor. They have office hours. I suggest you use them. Talk to them about whatever subject you have an issue with. Don't worry about their time because they're getting paid to do that. So I definitely recommend office hours. I used them once, definitely. Another tip is a study group. Study groups are very well. They're very fun. It gets it kind of helps you facilitate what you're doing in the classroom, and what that means is it makes it easier. It just it just makes it easier. I'll recommend that. Let's see, what other study tip do I have? Organization is important. Yes, I have a binder right here. I'm gonna show you guys right quick. I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna be, I want to show you. Here's my chemistry binder. Let me just show you guys. Okay, so right here, this is a little tip, little what can I say? It's just a quick guide. I have my notes. He gives us PowerPoint, so I have them all in order. I have our homework and classwork, as well as our I want to say pre-homework, because we only have homework when we have a test coming up. One second. Okay. And then also have my periodic tables. Anything he gives us that, like, this is a reference. Like this has, it just had the molecular geometry. This has the electronegativity values, as well, of course, the shapes and the degrees that they are, and of course it's a periodic table. So I recommend you being organized. I also I have a midterm coming up, so I made me a little packet. I went through every chapter, jotted down the importance. I jotted down the meat of what I need to know, and I'm still wrestling with it. In fact, because I don't have a trouble with them, but it's just a lot to remember. It's just a lot. So I'm digesting it slowly but surely. It's coming to me. But I will recommend, like I said, to start your studying early. That's the biggest thing, and to make sure you study more effectively. If your professor lets you know what's going to be on the test, quiz, or what have you, then definitely use that. If they don't, which can happen a lot, just have to get through the chapter. There's no other way around it. You want to do well in these prereqs because your acceptance depends on it entirely. You can repeat a class, but sometimes they take off for repeated courses. They sometimes go by the point system, and sometimes they take off, so you don't want that to happen to you. But either way, those are my study tips, and that's what I use. I do have a good GPA, or whatever. I have two. Like I told you, the cumulative was my pre-nursing one. But either way, that's what I do, and it helps me out a lot. It takes away a lot of the anxiety because I can have test anxiety. And unfortunately, there's no quick fix for anxiety unless you go the medicated route. But if you just go basic, the only way to get rid of it is to do more of the quizzes and tests. And thankfully, my professor actually provides those for us. So I just I do that. But like I said, take it one step at a time, but take steps. Okay, do not procrastinate. Oh my gosh, like I just don't understand how people just do that. Maybe it's because of my age. I don't know, but I just don't understand. But anyways, you guys take care. I do appreciate the love on my last video. And if you guys have anything maybe you want me to talk about, let's do it. Like I said, I've been a student for a little minute. I've been through several majors, so I got some good information on what to do and what not to do. But either way, you guys have a wonderful day. I'm about to go to the barbershop, so you guys take care. All right.